Hello everybody. First thing, park the car with straight wheels and pay attention to maintain the steering wheel straight for the whole procedure. Then disconnect the negative terminal of the battery and find a flat screwdriver and grind its point to make a C shape to better engage the springs that actuate the airbag locking system. You have to insert the screwdriver in a little hole which is behind the steering wheel and at the bottom, and you have to look inside of the steering wheel for that clamp spring which you see now I am actuating. The spring, it's not easy to find and it's pretty hard, so you better take your time to do this step. When the wall airbag is out, it comes out by hand. It's very easy when it's unlocked, and you can proceed disconnecting the two connectors. You have to lift the secure lock that hold the connectors in place, and then you can unplug the connectors, helping yourself with the screwdriver. Pull out the horn fasten. Now the airbag is free, and lay it on a safe place far from children because it's a bomb basically. And now you can use the screwdriver to unlock the main connector and unplug it from the car, from the clock spring assembly. You can now loosen the main screw that hold the steering wheel in place, and you can remove it from the steering column, shaking it a little bit, because it may happen that after years the steering wheel glues on the steering column. Okay, let's have a look at the steering wheel spacer. That's the shaft with the spline, which replicate the OM shaft. And you see now the back part of the spacers replicate the center of the steering wheel. That's the bore with the spline and the slots to locate the pins and which are on the clock spring assembly, and to make the connectors and the wires pass through the steering wheel spacer and reach the airbag and the steering wheel. You have to separate the two parts because you receive the steering wheel spacer pre-assembled, and you have to insert the aluminum part of the steering wheel spacer on the steering wheel column. You see that sticker, there is a QR code with fitting instruction which you can read over this video tutorial. The clearance may be a bit tight. You have to play a little bit and push the spacer in the column. Okay, you see the pins are and the connector, they are located in the corresponding slots in the spacer, and you can use the original bolt which was on the car to tighten back the steering wheel spacer on the column. You can apply a torque of 60 Newton meters. Then you can bolt back the steel part of the spacer on the aluminum part. Just tight the 7 Allen bolts, and at this point we have to extend the wires for the steering wheel buttons and the airbag. Inside of the black connector there are two plastic tabs which are involved in the airbag circuit and must go in those two slots inside of the orange connector. We have replicated those two tabs with this 3D printed plastic emulator which you have to push inside those slots in the connector. Then you have to insert the jumper wires in the two rows of the main connector. The connector is 12 pins and the jumper wires are 6 pins each. So you insert one and the other one in the connector, and you don't really need to wrap them with the tape, because they are pretty hard to go in and they are never under stretch during driving. But to be extra safe, just wrap them with the insulator tape, so you're sure that they are never going to get loose. Then make the wires gently go inside the slot and go close to the spacer with the steering wheel, and take your time to insert the other side of the two jumper wires in the black connector of the car. You need patience, and to take your time and to operate very gently, because the pins are hidden down there. You don't see them very well, and it's easy to miss a row and to unconnect the wires accidentally during the operation. So please take your time to do this part of the job. You see, I have set them, then they jump out, then I have to push them back in. It's pretty annoying, and because we couldn't develop a full plug and play harness which can simply made pushed in as the OM harness is, because it's difficult for us to find the proper connectors, as we could do for other steering wheel spacers. But we are working on it, so maybe in future you will see another video with updated wiring harness. Okay, the wires are in now, so you can insert the steering wheel in the shaft of the steering wheel spacer, and gently accommodate the wires inside the room between the back of the steering wheel and the inside of the steering wheel spacer cover. Help yourself with the screwdriver or with your fingers. Just take your time doing all these steps, because you can loosen some wire and have unwanted warning lights at the end of the procedure, which you have to clear. You can now tighten the bolt included in the kit at the same torque of 60 Newton meter, and then reconnect the wires to the airbag unit. First the horn fasten, then push back the airbag connectors and the secure lock clip. First the connector, then the secure lock. Okay, you're done. Now you have to push back the airbag unit inside of the steering wheel. Those hooks, those black hooks, must engage the spring in those housing, in those holes. Okay, it's more difficult to say than to do, because you simply have to align the airbag in the housing inside the steering wheel, and then it's one way. You simply have to push it, like when you are pissed off to somebody, and then the horn must have the same mobility as before. You reconnect the battery, and you see now all the regulation of the steering wheel are still there. Turn on the car, check the warning lights, and you're done. Thank you for watching, have fun with our spacer, and see you next time. Bye bye!